What's up, everybody? It is time for a Monday edition of Wake Up Barstool. Plenty of stuff to get to from over the weekend. We obviously had the madness. A Sweet 16 has been finalized. We're also going to get into some flag football. We have Darrell Doucette joining us from the star quarterback, really, of the Team USA flag football team. It's going to be a blast. And we have MLB opening day coming up. So we're going to be covering it all. It's going to be right here, right now on FS1. Welcome in, everybody, to Wake Up Barstool. I am not T-Bob Bear. We will lay that out right up top. I am in for him for the week. I am Connor Griffin, joined by Brandon Walker, Rico Bosco over at the desk. Of course, we have Meek Phil and Liam Blutman. And then, as always, on Mondays, we have Dave Portnoy, El Presidente, joining us via Zoom. Dave, first of all, happy belated birthday. I know you're not a birthday guy, but overall, how's it going?
You're definitely not a birthday guy.
That's fair.
Yeah, not my birthday anymore. It's going well. I'm excited for this week. Obviously, Bosco, I see him sitting there. In our world, it doesn't get much bigger in college basketball, obviously, than Michigan against Alabama. Alabama looked really good last night. I'm actually curious. I don't know where Bosco's at with this game, this Sweet 16 game coming up, because he is a Michigan guy-ish. Like Dusty May is one of his guys. Didn't send him a jumpsuit. For those who didn't see, he thought he got sent a jumpsuit from Dusty May, but it was Big Cat trolling him. So it's an interesting week. Rico, like, where are you at with this game? This is where it gets confusing to me. Like, I think Michigan will handle you guys without, Alabama's a good team. I don't think they're Michigan good, but I'm more curious if Dusty May is one of your guys, if you're wearing a jumpsuit, even though it was a trick, like, where do you sit on this game?
You're always going to ride or die with your one team, the top one.
Well, you're a unique situation. Like, that applies, yes. I'm going to ride or die with my team, Michigan. Who's my number two? Don't have one. Like, Brandon Walker is going to ride or die with Mississippi State. Who is his two? Doesn't have one. Like, Connor Griffin's going to rise or die with Penn State. Who's his two? Doesn't have one. You happen to be like, well, I have 1 through 47. and I think Michigan's, like, from what I've gathered, the way you slurp Dusty May is like a top 5.
Dusty's up there, yeah, for sure. But Oates is number 1, and it has been for the last 5 years. Like, that's when you accumulate, when you have 34 teams in the tournament, guys are going to run into each other. I had a guy at St. Louis when Michigan beat them. Like, so that's how it's going to go.
Like,
but
are you going, when Michigan beats Bama, then do you root for Michigan again?
Not as hard. Like, I'm living and dying with every dribble with Alabama. That's going to be the way it is, and it has been for the last 5 years. Okay. But ultimately, if Dusty cuts down the nets, I'm not going to be like, oh, horrible for them.
Well, what is the line? Has the line come out?
10.5.
Yet?
10.5.
What is it, 10.5? That's
10.5. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. We've struggled. Alabama struggled in.
Don't say we, though. Don't say we, though. I mean, like we, he's wearing Michigan on his chest. He went to Michigan. He can say that. Connor has hidden some things at Penn State for them. I obviously grew up 5 minutes away from Mississippi State. Don't say we.
I put in the hours.
Just don't say we. You haven't put in the hours. You
got the hard hat.
You've been in Tuscaloosa. You've been in Tuscaloosa one time in your entire life.
I put in the hours.
I mean, we had a big game last night. I saw you before that game, and this was after Iowa had beaten Florida. It was after St. John's advanced and everything like that. I said, what's up? That was my simple question, and you just said, not the vibes. So are the vibes better now after? Okay, good.
That's always the thing of the critique of being like, Alabama, they don't play defense, and they can't shoot, and they were too many threes and this and that. But when the shots are going down, there's nothing more fun than watching that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, you still have a lot of lines. St. John's obviously advances to the Sweet 16. And I don't know if you saw Rick Pitino, absolutely the class of college basketball, holding press conferences in the tunnel with a crowd of people talking about the last play. If you weren't such a hater and a miserable guy, it's the type of thing you would love to be. Like, people are slapping him on the back as he's talking about that last play. You have Iowa, who, and for people who don't know, again, why would anybody on FS1 right now? There's a lot of people probably on their treadmills. They don't even know why this channel's on right now, and they're seeing you for the first time. But you've been a Fran McCaffrey guy forever. 17 years he was at Iowa. 17 years, and he never made it past the first weekend. Now you are a gigantic. Did this guy ever make it past the first weekend? Did this guy ever make it past the first weekend? St. John's can't make it past the first weekend. They bring in Ben McCollum, and you sat on the couch watching games. You unprovoked. You elbowed me. You went like, He goes, Dave, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, saying that Iowa should be, they don't know what they had with Fran McCaffrey, and that they should have never gotten rid of him. This guy, Ben McCollum, first year, they go further than he ever went in 17 years. And then he texts me on the side. He goes, you're not going to stick up for Caitlin Clark's boyfriend's dad? Like, what are we even talking about here? Like, no, I'm not a psychopath like you who can't tell the truth because a woman I'm a fan of's boyfriend's dad was the coach. But this Bosco, how do you explain this?
He's a good coach. I saw him speak at the Final Four. He is a good coach. But I got I was ride or die with McCaffrey. This is a great season for Iowa.
Further in 1 year than 17. By the way, the kid should have been thrown out of the game. The kid who hit the three throws a punch, and you leave him in the game. I don't get that at all.
Well, there was a Golden said in the press conference that when he asked the officials, they said because it didn't connect.
Yeah,
it wasn't
crazy.
able to eject him. That's pretty tough.
Well, may I ask you a question?
That's the Bosco. That's Bosco. Yeah. That's the high noon off to missing. Well, it didn't hit Big T in the head.
So my question is, isn't this the problem with having a bunch of guys? Because you're so protective of your guys, you can't even enjoy things like Iowa beating number one seed defending national champ. You can't even enjoy St. John's resurrecting their program. You have to take hardline stances. You don't have to take hardline stances on everything.
Yeah, but you got to be in the. It's fun to gamble. It's fun to be in the mix of like that's not going to do it, and somebody proves you wrong. How many people were saying Sam Darnold can't win a Super Bowl?
Hey, in the fall,
this guy
all the way through.
I never said that.
You did say we have.
Don't holler at me. In the fall, I'm the same thing. I'm out here. I'm doing things. I'm fighting battles every Saturday. I get it. But you create these fires yourself. You set the fires, and then you're like, oh, it's hot in here.
I used to be a fireman. I like the heat. I like the heat. Some guys like the heat.
But you don't really like the heat because then you throw like tantrums, and if you want to say you got to take a hard line, like a hard line communist country, but when things don't go your way, you start a nuclear war. So, I mean, I don't know that you're great at you're great when it wins. In Alabama, you're celebrating, you're doing the elephant thing around, but you're not like the best loser. You're actually a sore loser and kind of a jerk.
I thought I took it pretty well yesterday. I mean, St. John, you need a little while to decompress, but like that, I sent the Pitino thing. That's the crazy part. That's he's been so cool through this run. It's so hard to watch.
But because he's Rick Pitino.
Yeah. Well, Rick Pitino's approval rating for a while was in the tubes.
How could you watch a team like St. John's, who was in the desert for 2 decades, hire Rick Pitino and not think it was going to work? It's Rick Pitino.
Yeah, I miss, and Rapoli has texted me a million times too. I evaluated just how much the NIL and the jolt in the arm that Rapoli could give to them. So, but
it's still not giving Pitino
credit. They could, yeah. Ngangba's back, but they could. I mean, Zuby's that good.
So you may have to start warming up that bus. If they beat Duke, they're going to the Final Four.
I still think Michigan State's pretty live.
They get by Duke. Michigan State. Michigan State. Listen, who has Michigan State beaten so far? Why is Michigan State? Everyone wants to talk Michigan State. This Michigan. It's a great conference, the Big Ten. They've proven that best conference by a mile in college basketball. But why is everyone? That is just Izzo. They're going to lose to UConn in this game.
I don't know. UConn looks like at periods of time, you saw it the other night with Furman, and then UCLA, they pretty much controlled that game. But there's portions of that offense where it just looks like they don't score easily. Nothing comes easily to them.
Listen, as a guy who beat the brakes out of Michigan State every single time we play them, which we did, and then watch them get bounced. That is just Izzo fatigue. Basically, I have. Yeah, he's in the Sweet 16. He's a great Sweet 16 coach, but he gets too much credit for going nowhere in a long time. So good, he's a Sweet 16 coach. This is about when his run generally comes to an end, and it probably will again against a UConn team that is the best tournament team in recent memory, and Dan Hurley, and a team that is actually everything Michigan State thinks they are. Now, that's a great bracket. Looking at the East, Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, and UConn. The coaches there, Shire's a little boring, but that's a great bracket to look at, that's for sure.
Don't you think it's fair to say, though, that Izzo's teams seem like they get better as the year goes on?
No.
Really?
That's exactly what I just said that I don't believe. That's the exact.
I think his teams are way better at the end of the year.
We have stats on here. I'd like to see how far this Michigan State team has gone the last 5 to 10 years. I don't think it's as good as people think it is. I think they live in this past of Tom Izzo. Listen, I've seen Dusty May go in and smash this guy like a ham and egg year in and year out. And everyone, Tom Izzo, because he gets in front of the mic and he's cutesy and he whines and he does this and he's one of these old school guys who's trying to make the renaissance with him and Dan Hurley and Mick Cronin and all this, which I like that, but he's a baby. He's a baby. So someone get on that. I'd like to see how far little brother's gone. I'm not buying that.
They've made 2 Final Fours since 2015.
All right, so yeah, that's in the last
10 years,
11
16 years.
Okay. Well, Dave, obviously you're coming at this from a Michigan approach. Michigan, hell of a win the other day against St. Louis, bodied them in the second half. How are you feeling about the Wolverines as a whole?
I mean, I think they're the most complete team in this thing. Florida obviously got stunned. Arizona is really. I thought the chalk would hold, so I was surprised to see Florida go down. But I think Arizona. I had them fourth. Arizona is great. Duke. Healthy. I saw them beat us early in the season, really good. But I think Michigan's the most complete team. And at Michigan, when we have this type of season, it's championship or bust. Looking at this, I think we roll past Alabama. They're not going to play the type of defense they need to play. We're too deep. I don't know if they're going to bring the drug dealer back. He's out there selling drugs on the side of the street. Knowing Nate Oates, he'll probably try to bring him back.
Probably going to play him, yeah.
You can do anything at that school and they'll try to play you. But he may literally be behind bars. They have charges on his phone of him selling drugs. So he's a drug dealer. He's a drug dealer. Now, is marijuana the biggest drug? You can get it free a lot of states. No, but Alabama, you can't. You can't sell drugs in Alabama. So he should be in jail. Tennessee is not a threat. Iowa State's very much a threat. That Iowa State team is the real deal. If Michigan played Iowa State, I assume that's Michigan 2.5, Michigan 3, Michigan 4, somewhere in there.
Jefferson being out for Iowa State's a big game changer.
So. Getting an MRI today, but it wasn't a boot.
There's a chance he's back, though, right?
Chance he's back, but he was out, obviously. So
who's got a better chance to be back, him or the drug dealer?
The drug dealer for sure.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say Jefferson.
So you wouldn't say what?
They got to go through. They got to go through the process with Holloway. I think Alabama's prepared that Holloway does not play in this tournament.
Say what?
Holloway is probably not playing in the tournament, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but when I said drug dealer, you said I wouldn't say that. What would you say?
No, I think I was. Yeah, a legend. Is obviously. Everybody gets their day in court. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, most Alabama players spend all their days in court.
I wouldn't say all.
Why would you even want them back? They look so cool.
I do think
as a unit without them, none of them looked potentially.
It has,
high. They look really good.
Yeah, it's true. They may not. Maybe they were using the product.
And they clearly weren't there. So they finally meshed well, hitting all their threes. They look good.
Yeah, Reitzel's obviously got the most experience. He's on that Final Four team. Holloway's an unbelievable shooter. You would have added one more, but right now you play with the guys on the court. They're playing really well. The thing that's been impressive for him is Bull Bowen has stepped up. Noah Williams has stepped up a little bit last night. both of them look like absolute whiffs at portions of the season in the portal. It was like, oh, God, we missed on that. They kind of missed on Bristow because he had a good game against
Okay, you're
Illinois.
going to.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just saying.
Also,
We're too deep in
Going
Tuscaloosa
way
here.
too deep.
I'm just
Listen,
saying.
Michigan
Gotta
is
be
the most
careful.
talented team in the country on both ends of the floor. They have everything. They have no weaknesses. The point guard, obviously, that got hurt, the backup, but Michigan is. It's their tournament to lose. I really feel like that. Arizona and them, I would say the two best. But when you ask me what I think about Michigan, it's title or bust. It has to be. When you're this good, you gotta finish the deal. And this school, I know we're talking hardwood right now, but for those people like hockey, Michigan's also the number 1 overall seed in hockey. It's just, it doesn't matter the season. When you see the Block M coming at you, you know you're getting an A+ effort, an A+ team, and probably the overall number 1 seed. So there is no rest as a Michigan sports fan. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the hockey team because a lot of people love hockey, and they are the number 1 seed. So congratulations to Michigan. Another just spectacular winter sports season here. We got other people at this office. They try to act like women's hockey, and I have nothing against women's hockey, but you got the Ohio States and the Wisconsin of the world like clockwork. Every March, they try to turn this into a women's hockey tournament because their teams are eliminated. It's championship or bust for the sport that most people in this country care about, and that's the college basketball tournament.
Shout out Kelly Keegs. Women's hockey. Yeah.
The question that's been asked, Dave, Friday night, are you prepared to stream?
Oh.
I expected you not to, but it's just been asked. That's all.
Yeah, obviously I saw. What time's the game? Has it come out yet?
6:35 local.
It's also here, right?
Yeah.
In Chicago.
I don't know. I gotta think about it. I've been traveling all over the place because I had my horse run too. I was in Kentucky. Shout out, lovely Gray. Maybe. Again, you take the sting out of it a little bit because of how many people you root for. And I know you're like, I'm rooting for Alabama, but you like Michigan. It's not. You make it makes it a little bit unique in my eyes. Like, I know once we beat you, you'll just like morph into a Michigan fan.
I will not live and die with every dribble. That's not what's going to happen.
Well, we could get into it a little bit more
That's
after
exactly
the break.
what I just said. That's why you're a bum. That is why you're a bum.
Take control of the show,
I'm going to take control. We're going to have more college basketball coming up in a little bit.
With a guy who doesn't live and die with every.
One more Rico
Of
and
Michigan,
Dave.
I'm saying.
Wake Up Barstool and FS1. Stay live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. Still plenty of college hoops to talk about. I do want to get to one particular story, though, because maybe the biggest story of the weekend was Iowa knocking off Florida. And we had somebody on this show last week who said that was a very real possibility, to which he was almost laughed at. Do we have the clip of Liam Butman predicting that maybe Iowa had a chance against Florida? Can we roll that real fast?
You think that Iowa has a chance to take down Florida?
No, I was just looking for something. I was just looking.
Look at that face.
I have
Pissed off.
Look at that face.
Iowa could be. Yeah, of course.
Credit to that guy. Why's that guy not
If you
getting
think
celebrated?
Iowa is going to have a real opportunity against Florida, child, please.
Yeah.
And listen,
That's damning video.
we love John Fanta. Shout out to John. But, I mean, Blutman, this is a major victory for you. You're wearing the Iowa hoodie right now, too.
Yeah, I'm a Fanta guy. We're all Fanta guys.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't hit me with the child, please, though. That was the dagger in the heart. That hit deep. That cut deep. Ben McCollum, one of the great March coaches there is, won at every level now, Rico. Bold play from Fanta. The guy in the blazer in the airport, that guy deserves more love. That guy knows as much ball as any of us.
Classy move to issue an apology when it's wrong. Not a lot of people do that.
Very classy. That's why he's
Again, going to this game, I don't know how you don't throw out the kid who hit the game winner, who took a clear swing at it. I just don't understand how he's in the game. It's, I guess, crying over spilled milk if you're Florida. And I like the coach of Florida. Nobody's going to cry for Florida coming off a national championship, another 1 seed. Nikki Smoke's a despicable human. But you have to throw that guy out. There was also a play, a Florida guy ran through the back of an Iowa guy. That game was physical. But if you throw a punch, I don't care what level, you're gone. You're gonzo. I don't know how they left him in the game. That's what sparked that fight. And now you get Iowa and Nebraska in two schools that really do hate each other. In Nebraska, give Nebraska some credit, okay? Well, I don't know if credit's the right word. This is a fan base who has been tortured. This is a fan base that has nothing to root for. They're a football school that stinks at football. They're a football school where when we went to Lincoln, Nebraska, 50% of the crowd was wearing T-shirts that said, Saturdays are for sadness. They stink. They are going nowhere in football. Every year it seems like they get worse. They get humiliated, dominated, emasculated. Their first Sweet 16 ever, they win an absolutely spectacular basketball game that's back and forth, big shots. They dodge a buzzer beater here from Vanderbilt that for all the world looked like it was halfway down. You get the buddy here in the crowd from Nebraska. They're going to show him if we roll it. He looks like he's almost going to die because he can't take it. We cut it off. So in their fans, that they packed that place out. They drove 8 hours. It was a Nebraska home game. I don't know what this will be because Iowa has pretty passionate fan base, but this is a good old-fashioned Midwestern hate rivalry game we got here. I don't know who I like. I think I like Nebraska, but I expect it to be close. But this is a football game that transformed onto the basketball court, and good for them. People think I'm a hater. I root for places like Lincoln that have nothing. They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing at this school. A lot of those people have no reason to wake up in the morning. They wake up, they got nothing. So good for them to have something to look forward to all week. Will Compton's probably walking around with a bounce in his step. He doesn't know how many guys are on the floor in basketball. He thinks there's 7. He has no idea what's going on. Most of that fan base has never watched more than 3 minutes of basketball. But they have something to wake up in the morning and say, oh, we have a sport, and it's not women's volleyball. We have a male sport that we can actually get excited. So good for Nebraska. I have no idea who's going to win this game. I think it's going to be very close. I'd take Nebraska if I had to.
Yeah, good for Iowa, too. They haven't been here in, 17 years? For 16 years, they were.
I think it said.
Yeah, but they were for 16 years or whatever it was, 27 years. Yeah, 27 years they've been in the wilderness trying to get back here. Finally, they get back here. Now they play somebody like he's right. These two teams hate each other.
How about this? Sanford for Nebraska is probably their best player. He left Iowa as well, so it adds to the drama of that too. So,
and it's weird with Iowa because Iowa, you think of a pretty deep. They're always mid upper pack in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And you hear guys on this couch, Fran McCaffrey this, Fran McCaffrey that. It's shocking that they never got past the first weekend with him. And now they bring in Ben McCollum and Rico saying grass isn't greener on the other side. 1 year, bang, they knock off the number 1 seed. Huge upset, biggest win in the program in 2 decades. And you're set up for this game, which will be super exciting, super exciting. I wish it wasn't in the South, but it'll still be super exciting.
Do you want to adjust what you said about the grass not being greener? Because the grass is pretty damn green.
It's a little green.
It's really green.
It's really green.
It's some green-ass grass.
I mean, this guy can win. So
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
did you see the radio announcer out of this?
No, I don't watch the radio.
Fair. Guy's been calling him for
Brandon.
41 years. He finally gets that big moment
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
nails the call.
Yeah.
So that was a cool story coming
Now,
out.
is he the football announcer as well? I feel like at these schools, a lot of times you'll have the same radio voice for multiple sports. I don't know that answer, but is he just relegated? Like, is the Nebraska basketball guy relegated to basketball?
I don't know.
I would imagine he does both.
Probably.
Most schools, I think,
Yeah.
do both.
Yeah, I think they do. Like the voice of Nebraska sports.
Can we, speaking of the Iowa game, though.
Yeah.
Todd Golden won a national championship last year. If he didn't, if he didn't have that in his pocket, he would be getting roasted this morning because that last 10 seconds, the fact that they decided to press when Iowa can beat you with a 3, they press, they gamble, they go for it. It turns into a fast break, basically a 5-on-4 fast break that ends up in a wide open 3. And then you're coming back the other way and you can't get a shot off.
Do you remember the Villanova Pitt game in 08? Scotty Reynolds with that famous floater? That's exactly what it was.
Of course I do.
He got past the defense, and once you saw that unfold, it's like he's off on the run, and here it goes.
He said he was trying to give a foul.
Yeah,
and that they missed the foul, and that led to the break. But I agree, you'd be getting roasted. You get a little leeway coming off an national championship. What about the end? And they were praising it during the St. John's Kansas game, the giving the fouls. The way Bill Self did that, I thought was idiotic. Like, you can't, I have no problem giving the fouls and using the time, but you can't give that last one. There's 4 seconds. That you almost force them into a shot that's going to be an okay shot. 4 seconds is a ton of time. If you hold on to one of those fouls, there's a lot more you can do with that. But when you just go and you commit that foul of 4 seconds, you almost force like a fast action. A lot of times, those are the shots to me that go in. The shots that don't go in are when you're set in your defense and things are bogged down. And you go, but this, you almost force them into that type of shot by using that last foul that the next one would have put him in a one-on-one. You hold that. Then you can foul him when he's running with 1 second or something. That was, to me, a huge mismanagement by Bill Self.
Yeah, and they had him in the corner on the first initial pass and smacked him right away.
Right.
And then everybody kind of realized, oh, okay, they're going to give the fouls. I thought they gave that a little, like, he might be trapped in the corner there and milk 4 seconds off himself. Then you could go slap him. You're right. I thought that was a defensive mishap. And also, I mean, the help, he just goes right by the guy. They let him catch it. Like, just
that happens a lot. Like,
yeah,
when there's 4 seconds, there's no doubt you force the offense into a decision they have to make right away, and it was go. And I saw Patino's yucking it up. They're eating their prosciutto in the hallway, and the red wine, and the Godfather music's playing behind them, and they're making fun of Bosco. But you force a play in that situation. Again, you have to keep a foul to give when you have that many to give at the end. Just really bad play. I don't know is everyone saying that? Because during the broadcast, they were basically like, oh, this is so great by Bill Self. What a great job. It lost them the game.
Yeah, they were on Pluto. The first 2 fouls that they gave, no time ran off the clock. It was brain dead.
Yeah.
They're not even going for steals either. They're just intentional fouls. Like, you could play aggressive. I didn't get it at all.
It was very questionable strategy in multiple games. Obviously, we talked about the Iowa game there. And I want to focus on the South region.
Meek Phil's right. That's a great point Meek Phil just made.
Yeah, you
give me credit there. They just gave the fouls. Like, if you're going to foul, try to get a steal and be wildly aggressive. They didn't try to do anything. They just gave it away.
It was like the football team you see playing prevent too early.
Right.
And
Yes.
get nailed. That's what they did. Absolutely. He's right.
But yeah, Bosco, the South region with Houston and those 3 Big Ten teams. Houston playing in their backyard, by the way. Are we sleeping on Houston?
No.
In this? Okay.
No, I mean,
a lot of people picked them.
Well, no, but I know. It seems like they're not really going. It seems like they're not really going, like, it's not discussed a whole lot, the fact that they've had a pretty dominant 2 games. I think they won by 31 in each of their first 2, but it seems like we aren't really discussing Houston a whole lot, and now they're getting essentially a home game right now.
You picked Houston as well, right?
I did.
Entering the tournament, I think more people were on Florida. Now it's obviously Houston's to lose, especially in Houston. What I will say, though, is Illinois is really, really good. That's a hell of a Sweet 16 matchup.
Yes.
So I would expect the winner of that to obviously be favored against Nebraska and Iowa.
Let me stop you there. Is there any way that Nebraska or Iowa comes out of this region? Because they're both on great runs. Iowa just beat Florida. You can't tell me if you can beat Florida, you can beat Houston, you can beat Illinois.
You can, absolutely.
And there's familiarity. If either of these 2 teams play Illinois, I mean, you can't
Agreed.
throw it out
No,
the
yeah,
window.
they could. They could. I still think it's
see
Houston.
Nebraska coming out, not Iowa. I mean, Nebraska's has been really good in the best conference all season long.
Hoiberg's a terrific coach, too.
Houston, as Boston calls it, Houston, or whatever he says, they are a beat-up the bad team. Like, they always win by 50 in the early rounds. They smother you. They play very intense. And they could definitely make a run and possibly win it all. But they always smash these teams in the beginning. And then when the tournament picks up, they're in dogfights. They're no longer smashing teams. And they've been bounced in previous years. So do I think this is the bet? Like, I thought last year's Houston team was better than this year's Houston team.
Yeah, I think so. And they were number 1 seed last year, right? Yeah, and they were what? They were 30 seconds away from a national title.
Right.
Question: Is Houston the only H word where you don't say the H?
Possibly.
Why don't you say the H?
I don't know.
Houston?
It's just how I speak. I don't know. You just say Houston. I don't know.
Yeah, but look at the word. There's an H, an O, a U, an S-T-O-N.
Yeah.
You just skip the H every time.
I don't know. We all got accents.
Say hoops.
Hoops.
Say holiday.
Holiday.
Say Houston.
Houston.
Oh my God.
I'll
It's a
say
little bit of a
to
lie.
these Nebraska fans, they got like I said, they got nothing going on in their life. I know this game is, I think it's 4 minutes or 4 miles from Houston's campus or something that close. These lunatics in Nebraska, they'll show up.
Mm-hmm.
They'll somehow that game. Even if they play Houston in Houston, I bet they get about 50% of the crowd, Nebraska. I've been walking around in cities when they've had women's volleyball games there, and they paint the city red. This, again, you cannot underestimate a city that has nothing, and that's Lincoln.
Lincoln's a fine town. Can I just stop that? Lincoln's a nice town.
I like Lincoln.
Well, yeah, but you're saying they have nothing.
They have nothing to root for.
Well, yeah, they've been athletically, but let's slow down on Lincoln. Lincoln's a pretty place. It's a wonderful place. Good breakfast joint there.
Okay.
I don't know if it's pretty. I like Lincoln. GBR. I'm a huge fan of the women's volleyball and all that. I'm just saying, half my school, we got to go root for the hockey team. We got to go root for the basketball team. We got to go root for the football. Every day it's some other team we got to support going for a national championship. They have nothing.
The perils of being a Michigan man. But we will talk about it all. We still got plenty of stuff to talk. We haven't even talked about Arizona, Arkansas, and ACUF and all that. Plenty of college hoops left to just uncover and unwrap and everything. But we're going flag football next, talking about the USA flag football team. How about that, Brandon?
Whatever.
Wake Up Barstool live here on FS1. We just had an all-out war in the break about Rico potentially now being a Calipari guy. I want to talk about flag football in a second, but Rico, you've been put on blast. You're saying you're an Arkansas guy now. Well, why?
No.
Well, we got to, again, there's people that our company has been in existence now, I think 24 years. And for 20 of them, 22 of them, Rico Bosco has absolutely assassinated John Calipari. Like, he was treating him like Jeff Nadeau. Like, his number one. Like, you couldn't mention this guy's name without him savaging him. So to hear him then in that little rant, the first say it's early in the morning, I'm getting my caffeine. It almost went past me that he says Calipari is one of his guys.
I didn't say one of the guys. We interviewed this.
Yes, you did. I asked you during the break. I said in the break, who are your guys left? You said 7 guys, and you went down through it, and Calipari was the 3rd guy you mentioned.
Yeah, we interviewed his son a long time ago. He was a good
vacation, and I'm trying to get him on the horn because the things that slip out of your mouth, sometimes it's like, Calipari? This guy you treated like Al-Qaeda for like 2 decades.
His son was a good sport about it. And I will say this. I love college basketball. We're running out of the bigger-than-life guys who've been around for a long time. So I'm getting softer in my old age. It's good. Calipari is good for the sport.
But wait a second.
Because a ton of people hate him. He's polarizing. It's good to have him around.
He was better than life when you hated him.
Granted, but now he's on the full back. Like, we're on hole 15 here. You got 3 more holes, and when he's done, it's over, and you're going to be like, damn, who are you going to hate? We're running out of guys to be polarized.
So you spent the first 14 holes hating him, and then you decided, the sun's going down a little bit. I love this guy now.
It's like Dave says with the war veterans, yeah, or like like with the muskets. Like at the end, you nod to each other like good war. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta respect it.
I have said that.
He has said it exactly. Like they say I don't got it. I don't pay attention.
There we go.
Like we're running out of it. I'll
Point
tell
to
you this.
Rico.
As I still think Calipari's
war for 20 years, and you think a guy is on. his back nine are fading away. Maybe it's like you tip your cap. Like now he doesn't. I
don't agree with everything he's
wait
done.
a minute,
He said a lot of
hold
stupid
on.
things. The night he said Kentucky's best night in the history of the program was the night 5 guys got drafted in the draft. I still think that's stupid. We don't know what happened with Luke Hornacek. We'll see how that all goes. But
there's a big
that
difference. There's a big difference in tipping your cap and saying he's one of my guys now.
That's
his
true.
son is one of my guys. I
That's
thought
true.
his son was
You
great.
almost got me. You can take down the hate, be like, I respect, but to say you're one of his guys. And by the way, this game, I got mincied. I don't know. Mincy won't shut up walking around the office. Yeah. Arkansas is still 50-1. Arkansas is still 51. Arkansas is still 51. He said it so much, he incepted my brain. And I have Michigan at 10-1, 50 grand to 1, 500. I took him I put 20 grand on him at 50-1 to win $1 million. When you have the best player in the country, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Darius Acuff has been sensational. I think he's the second player in the past 50 years to average 30 and 5 in their first 2 March Madness games, Billy Donovan being the only other one. But he's been absurd. I mean, any other takes on
He's been incredible. And
how insane it was.
They're playing well around him.
Yeah.
I think that first game, they might have had 18 to 20 dunks. Like, it was just crazy. He's lobbing up to everybody. He's got the offense going in the right. Everything is going perfectly for him. And when he needs to score, he scores. I think they are nasty. I think they're Arizona and Michigan. Dave said it earlier. I think they are the 2 best teams in the tournament. But in a one-game situation, Arkansas has got the talent to beat anybody in this bracket.
Yeah, they're missing.
And I think that High Point team was as legit as they come. So that was a hard game for them. But High Point is legit. Like they belong in this tournament. I don't know. The coach caused all sorts of waves by saying nobody would play the mid-majors. But that High Point was a very complete team. I mean, the point guard on that team was spectacular, and you got the kids shooting. So, but yeah, listen, if I'm Arizona, if you're looking right now, who's the number 1 seed that should be on alert?
Yeah.
It is very clearly Arizona to me, just because this kid is absolutely spectacular. And like Brand said, they're big, they're long, they look like a Kentucky team is what they look like.
I would put Duke on number 1 seed alert too. Duke playing St. John's. I think those two. Arizona has no walk in the park with Arkansas. I don't think Duke has a walk in the park with St. John's at all.
Well, let me say this, Walker. I may agree with you. Write that down. But the reason I would agree with you would be because Duke is weaker than Arizona. But if you're saying like, hey, Arkansas is playing St. John's, I think Arkansas beats St. John's. So I think that's just a better game. So Arizona's a better team, makes them less likely to be upset, but they got a bad mamma jamma staring them in the face, and they're going to be ready to go. And by the way, if they go, that Mincy, that wonderful idiot, I'll have to say, because he wouldn't shut up. 50-1, they're still 50-1. I can't believe they're still 50-1.
Does that line jump out to you? It's 8.5.
Yeah,
Not really.
No, it doesn't jump out to me at all.
Why would it jump to you? It's Arizona. Arizona's very
Arizona's really good, but yeah, Arkansas is playing unbelievable. They got the best player on the floor.
Look at
I thought
the
8.5
Michigan
was
line. What's the difference between that
a tad
Michigan,
little high.
Bosco?
It's number 1 against a
Michigan's
4
10.
seed.
There he is. Oh, good. I knew he'd come. Dan, is he on?
Oh, no. Rico.
Maybe I'm living in a cave, but we're going through who's your guys left in the tournament. Bosco saying Calipari is one of his guys now?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He has spent the last 10 years besmirching Cal's character and making up rumors and lies that he's heard offhand. His sourcing system is all messed up. You cannot say that you're a Cal guy, Bosco. What are you talking about?
No, I said
crazy.
I'm friendly with his son.
Oh, you said he was one of your guys. You listed him.
His kid, not him.
Hold on, you're friendly with his son, yet for the last 10 years you said he went into recruits' living rooms and made up cancer stories?
That was what was written. Yeah, we interviewed him. We squashed the beef. You can get over things.
Wait, you interviewed Cal?
We interviewed his son.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous.
He was a good sport about it.
You listed him as one of your guys. That's what you said.
The son.
You
you didn't say the son.
Tournament. You said Cal.
You said Cal.
All right, then that's a misspeak. I meant
I said, who are your teams left in the tournament? You said Arkansas. I said Cal. And you said yes.
the kid.
So, so let's just you have guys that you will walk around and say the meanest, craziest lies about. But if you meet the person who gets them coffee, their second cousin, their son, or anyone who could potentially get you a jumpsuit, you literally say, all right, we'll squash the beef. Yet the beef was only on one side. It's the Fran Fraschilla all over again. It's the Ben McCollum and Fran McCaffrey. It's short shorts. It's all these guys that the beef is only
Dave,
one
step
way.
in on that one. That's justified.
No, it's not. We went over the short short. I don't like short shorts, but you don't like short shorts, our old producer, because he put Nadeau on a stream, and it was clearly came from Dan and I to put Nadeau on the stream. So, and by the way, we forgot. I knew the Calipari's so deep. You kept saying he was lying about cancer.
Yes,
He was going to recruits saying that Carnesecca had cancer. Is that it?
It was a story that was written, yes.
And you said Carnesecca even again today, and it didn't click.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, what about Carnesecca? And you just moved past it, all while saying he's your guy.
It's crazy, Dave. It's crazy. And
I'm a crazy guy.
And you keep it going. That's the crazy part is you're like, it was written. No one knows about this story. You're the media. You bring it up.
Why are you getting mad at me for being well-read? I don't judge what you read.
I don't read.
There you go,
Yeah,
illiterate.
but-
I read.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
I just to say Calipari is one of your guys. It's early. It took me like 5 minutes. Like, this has been one of your core tenets for 20 years. How much you hate this guy.
Yeah, he probably got sandbagged. I don't know if he actually said
I
that.
saw him at a casino one time. I saw Calipari at a casino.
I flipped out.
You trash him so much, I avoided him. I'm like, I wonder if he's like,
Yes.
who Bosco is, because the vile things you say gets attached to us, and then you sit on a couch. Well, I got Calipari. It's lunacy.
Dave, we've tried to get him on PMT, I would say probably a dozen times. No one says no to doing PMT. He said no. It's because of Bosco.
100%.
He sees Barstool and he's like, oh, that's the guy who's been walking around saying I make up cancer lies all the time.
And then Bosco says he's one of his guys because his kid was in on the joke. What is that even?
Not in on the
When
joke.
You saw his kid, he's like, oh, that was funny when you lied about my dad making fun of cancer.
Can you get his son to get him on PMT?
Yeah.
Working on it.
Oh, also interesting, I got to go, but interesting, Bosco's now a Cal guy after back-to-back Sweet 16s. You're just trying to pick up guys that get to the Sweet 16. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Rico, it is kind of crazy.
Thank you for coming on. I couldn't believe it.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Big
I'll
Cat.
see you guys. Bye.
See you, Big Cat. Also, yeah, graphics.
I forgot about the lies you were telling. That's it. He was saying that he was going in, recruiting at St. John's, saying Carnesecca had cancer and was going to die.
In fairness to the graphics team, Rico did say that the son was one of his guys.
No, he did not.
That was a
Stop doing
misspeak.
this. Stop
That was a
doing this.
misspeak.
He
In
said
the break,
Calipari.
in the break, I said, who are your guys left? And you started listing off teams. You said Alabama, obviously, Michigan, Arkansas. And I said, whoa, Cal? And you said yes. It wasn't until Dave got involved that you started saying the Sun.
Okay, fair enough.
We can.
Thoroughly.
We're just glossing over that he was saying Cal was lying about kids.
That's another thing.
It was in a story. It was written.
You really want to go there?
What story?
It's been refuted.
Terminal
on
cancer.
his
He's going to
Twitter.
die.
Find the story.
Probably
The
refuted.
only tweets of Calipari from Rico are that he hated on Marquise Noel, called him Lil Man, and then all the Carnesecca cancer tweets.
Okay.
Like
Imagine-
dozens and dozens.
With friends like that, who needs enemies?
Listen, Rico, we could do a bit of a hard pivot here because we haven't talked about flag football like we said we would.
Great, Connor.
Yeah, I'll get you out of this, Rico. So,
You're not getting him out of it.
yeah, well, we'll bring it back in the second hour, I'm sure. But flag football, there was a massive event on Saturday. It was the Fanatics Flag Football Classic out in L.A. Flag football obviously going to be in the Olympics in 2 years, and this was kind of a showcase for what we could expect. It was Team USA, the team that we've trotted out there for world championships and everything, the pro flag football players taking on two teams made up of a lot of NFL stars. Logan Paul was in there. Speed was in there too. This USA flag football team just dominated. It was a round-robin tournament. They won the first two games by a combined score of like 80-30 or 82-30, something like that, and then they win the championship. And it brings up a good question. We're going to have the quarterback on in the second hour. Are we really in a good spot if we're putting NFL players out there in the Olympics, or should we just keep riding with these flag football players?
Let me stop you there, Connor. My question is this: this event had Logan Paul and ISO Speed playing in it.
They actually did a pretty good job.
That's
but
fine,
yes.
but we're treating this as this huge legitimate event when Logan Paul was playing defensive back?
It's to stir up. He was playing linebacker. He was actually pretty good.
He was playing linebacker.
He was pretty good at rushing the quarterback.
This was a paid event that was supposed to be in, I believe, Saudi Arabia or Riyadh, and then they have obviously the war going around, so it got canceled. It's Fanatics, it's Tom Brady. We talked about this when this event hit, and I don't know what the crowd is. No one's there. I forget how much I said Tom Brady got paid. He then tweeted at me saying I didn't know what I was talking about. Whatever the number was that I said, I was 100% correct of. It's an ungodly amount of money that they got paid to do this. Now, I don't care about that. Brady, listen, if you make googly eyes at Tom Brady right now and give him a check, he's going to do whatever you ask him to do.
He looked pretty good.
His Instagram is cringy. He's wearing tight jeans. He's got tape. I don't know what the heck he's doing. Having said all that, when this story originally came out, and I believe we talked about the Team USA quarterback being better than Mahomes, he said it, and there was debate who it should be. I was on the side of the players, of the actual national team, saying they'd kill this team as it stands because they know how to play the game. It's different rules. It's a version of football. It's not real football. Are they sending the NFL players or is it the national team? How does it stand right now?
I think this was the first event to really make a statement and to get a sense of what we're going to be doing. I think it's going to be a mix of NFL guys, but it is going to be a lot of these fast, twitchy guys. Like I think Doucette is in a prime spot to do it. The problem is like these NFL guys, Saquon Barkley, who I love, he got like multiple penalties the other day because he just kept trucking people. It's not allowed. Like it's a completely different sport. The physicality of it, there's none of it.
Is the Olympics going to be the clown show that they are, which they try to act like they care about the sports in this, or is it marketing? Because if it's marketing, you're going to send the NFL players because people know the names. If you're trying to win and it's the best players and you actually have to earn your way in, which I think, well, I don't know. I mean, they pick teams for basketball. They pick teams for hockey. I don't know who's doing this. But if you have to earn your way into this thing, it's going to be the professional flag football players. There's nothing surprising that they beat them. I'm interested to talk to the quarterback and ask him, how are they selecting this team? Do you have to earn it on the field, or is it just a popularity contest? The NFL players aren't going to care about this, just like they didn't care. This is I'm assuming, Walker, you're our WWE guy. All signs are pointing towards Tom Brady is going to be involved in the WWE. This whole Logan Paul thing is a work.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, Tom Brady's involved in too much. My question about this whole football thing is we just saw baseball teams tell the World Baseball Classic teams, hey, don't use our pitcher, don't use our hitter, we can't do it. What happens if the NFL sends any of these guys to the Olympics and bam, an ACL pops?
Well, Joe Burrow was
the whole thing gets shut down immediately,
Joe Burrow was playing the other day, and I was very scared. There were a couple of times it was dicey.
They could send out the best high school recruits in the country to rep USA, and they would win gold in this anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Am I
not true.
wrong?
But we have guys.
You're absolutely
we have
wrong,
flag football guys.
You think like Cambodia would beat a bunch of high school?
Blutman, but I don't know if they're playing flag football anywhere else, but our flag football team just annihilated NFL players.
Yeah, I don't think they cared. I don't think they want to risk injury or any harm.
No, they couldn't beat them in flag football with the rules, even if they practiced for a year and took it seriously. Yes, but our NFL guys aren't going to do that.
Yeah, well, we'll see exactly how it works out. We'll talk to Hoosh Doucette in the second hour. Second hour coming up right now on Wake Up Barstool. Still plenty of college hoops, but stick around. We'll be talking about it all.
I hate myself for kind of wanting to see the clips, knowing it's a work, knowing all that. And you didn't answer the Brady thing either, Walker.
What's up, guys? Hour 2 of Wake Up Barstool. Getting back into some college hoops. We still have Hoosh Doucette coming up. We got some MLB to talk about. But I want to get into this conversation. There's always been a lot of talk about Cinderellas in March. Yeah. Are they fading away? This tournament, we got some stats here. It's back-to-back seasons without a 2, 3, or 4 seed losing in round 1. 13 of 32 games decided by 20-plus points in the first round. The favorites went 16-0 on Friday. Are we losing the Cinderella component to March Madness with NIL and Transfer Portal and all that? How are you guys feeling?
Well, there are ebbs and flows to all sports, but yes, as of right now, we're certainly in a valley when it comes to Cinderellas. And what I don't understand about it, and help me understand it, we just saw the worst college football program in history because of NIL and Transfer Portal and getting the right coach win the national championship in college football. Yet in basketball, the blue bloods and the strong teams are getting stronger. Make that work for me.
Well, I think I can.
Do, please.
Try to. Indiana, while a terrible football program, is still a Big Ten power conference school. You get enough money, you get a Mark Cuban, you get the right coach. I don't know that these little guys have that type of money to go get them. I think it could be ebb and flow. I mean, I'm definitely on the NIL thing, but we're sitting here having a drastically different conversation if Siena maybe has two guys who can come off the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, they played 5 deep and took Duke to the tied with 5 minutes to go. If they ever win that game, it's the greatest upset in the history of the tournament. Bigger than Virginia losing, bigger than Purdue losing. So it's the biggest upset in the history of the tournament, and the conversation's dead. High Point is a legitimate underdog Cinderella story that really took Arkansas all the way, and if they go. So it certainly is something to keep an eye on. I'm not ready to proclaim it dead because Siena was right there. I mean, they were right there. And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll see one of these, like what you said, Walker, one of these smaller schools will have a guy from Amazon or something who's like, you can buy a program in basketball easily. You just got to get in program. So I do think, though, maybe it's an ebb and flow thing, but I don't know. It's tough to see. Since NIL has come around, and certainly Cinderella has been dead a little bit.
I don't think Cinderellas are dead forever.
We're in a phase.
There's fewer roster spots in basketball, too. Like 1 or 2 players can just change a game entirely, whereas football, you need like 12, 15 guys to really take over.
Well,
it is a great.
In football,
a guy on the floor is worth 1/5. Yeah, 20% of your.
In football, I think there's a good kind of feeder system where the smaller schools are feeding the big schools, but the big schools, the backups, Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State, are getting unhappy with playing time and they're moving down. I don't feel like it's happening in basketball as much. I don't see, your Kentucky transfer going and changing a smaller school.
I mean, you had Fletcher on High Point.
Certainly some.
I know it just doesn't happen. I agree.
Todd Golden brought up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dave. What you got?
And the teams are staying together. The Butlers, the early Gonzagas before people knew. What was it? GW, the Wichita States. Sure. These teams like a Fred Van Fleet at Wichita State is never staying at Wichita State in this era. He just isn't. Like once you become, powerful, that good, and a recruit that slips through the cracks, they're just not staying. So that is the argument against it, that these superstars on the smaller schools, they're just not going to last. They're going to get scooped. They're going to get paid. It does stink, but it is what it is.
But the good coming out of this, like we all love the Cinderellas, but the Sweet 16 last year was knockout, and the Sweet 16 this year is knockout as well. So it's awesome. Now, this year's tournament in the first 4 days, I remember Dave saying, what a dud the first 4 days were last year. I thought this year was
good. Bounce back out.
Low B. You know what I mean? We had some great
I think
moments, some upsets, obviously.
The Kentucky VCU game was as good as our Kentucky.
Santa Clara.
Thank you very much. And then I was going to say the UNC VCU game.
High Point,
they were
Wisconsin.
Great. High Point, Wisconsin was great. There were moments. Iowa, Florida, obviously yesterday was great. St. John's. Like we had 5 or 6 epic moments, and the last year I don't think we had that in the first weekend.
No.
Well, Todd Golden said, I think he said it, I can't remember if it was this week or whatever, but he was saying how just you're seeing this overall trend in college basketball. It used to be that they were really trying to adapt to the pro game where it was all spread out and it's shooting threes. But obviously, if everybody's just shooting threes, some big teams could have off nights, and the little guy, it's a bit more volatile. They might have their day. Whereas now, these bigger programs are going back to just recruiting the big guys, the strong guys, the monsters at the rim. I mean, we saw it, Dave, like the Michigan game against St. Louis. St. Louis scored over 100 points in the first round. They go up against Michigan, and they were just completely stifled in the second half. And a guy like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Roster, It's from all over the place. I mean, we got a guy, the big guy from UCLA. We got Morenz from Illinois. Luxembourg's from UAB. So, Michigan's the perfect NIL team, and they're the best team in the country.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were talking a little bit in the break. A team like Texas as an 11 seed, or a team like Iowa, beating Florida and everything. They're not a Cinderella per se, or would we consider them?
Iowa was a 9 seed because they played in one of the best conferences in the country.
Same with Texas.
Yeah, same with and then Texas. Listen, Texas had several losses in the SEC that were just inexcusable. They lost to Mississippi State at home.
1,000%.
Like Texas,
1,000%.
but by the time they get to March, they have worked out the kinks and they are playing up to the roster. But not everybody's doing that. Like we always thought Kentucky might play up to the roster. They never did, and they get blown out and they get embarrassed and they might make a coaching change. So it's just it's levels of how you get your team to March and all that. But right now, the talent is kind of located in one little
The closest one and the seed, and people, what are you talking about? It's a 4 seed. But, I mean, Nebraska has never been to the Sweet 16. They're just never.
They had never won a game to this point.
Yeah, so, I mean, they had a very good season. It kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think they were ranked in the preseason, and they made it all the way in the top 5, didn't they, at one point? So they're clearly not a Cinderella in that sense, but it's a great story. Like, that's a great story for a school that's never won a game into the Sweet 16 playing like that is that's a great game with 2 rivals playing in basketball. So
and I think they're kind of a model of this NIL area. They got 5 guys. Anytime Nebraska's on the court, they got 5 guys who can play and play together, right? Yes. There's not this sense that they got one star that it all revolves around where they got to keep him happy. And I feel like the teams that are successful, like Michigan's very much the same way. They got a number 1, but they play very, very, very together basketball. And I think your weaker teams are the ones that are still trying to feed the 1 star.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And with Nebraska, that's a credit to Hoiberg, too, because he was knocking on the door of a national championship back in 2014, 2015 when George Wozniak broke his foot. That team was loaded in the Big 12, which was the best conference back then as well. So, Hoiberg's really, really good, and that goes to his style. They are playing well together.
Well,
if you just look at the bracket, it's a power bracket. I mean, you'd like to have one little guy. There isn't. This is a power 2026 men's basketball tournament. But like to what Rico said, these should be a lot of great games coming out of here.
It all led to a Final Four last year of epic proportions. Yeah. They were saying that these are the 4 best 1 seeds we've seen since the bowl was round, and it worked out to a championship game decided in the last 30 seconds. How about the Final Four game with Duke and Houston? You lose out on a little bit in the first 4 days, but it works itself out. Give me the more important games, being better down the stretch. It's just, and we'll get back to Cinderellas down the road. We'll see how it goes.
And I'll say something that the purists may not want to hear. But when you're betting on these games, which we do, they feel pretty intense when you're minus 30 and the spread is 31 with a minute to go. And I know a lot of people, but you know what? The people who are watching those games in the first place probably have money on the line. Like the hardcore March Madness people are not just doing brackets. Yeah, they'll tune in if a game is close, but like us, we're watching these games and they get very interesting despite the spreads, and a lot of them come down to the wire.
It's a fair point. And we saw on there how
look at that
the
bracket.
Big Ten, it's a great bracket. Big Ten has 6 teams in there right now. They're 13-3 in the tournament. If you had to guess, how many Big Ten teams you think we're seeing in the Final Four?
Boy, oh boy. So obviously there's one bracket with 3 in there and only 1 can get in. So I still think Houston's coming out of that one. I still think Duke's coming out of that one.
I think it's 1.
Just 1?
I'm going to say 1.
Okay.
I still believe in Michigan State.
You believe in Michigan State?
I picked them to make it to the Final Four.
You think they're going to go through UConn and Duke?
Yes.
I'll say
they have a shot. I'm still not in love with UConn's.
That's the one bracket I think any of those 4 teams, Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, I think any of those 4 teams can be in the Final Four. That's the only one like that.
What's Michigan State in the final? I don't know what I'll do. I know Duke played UNC 1 year in the final. I was at that game. A Michigan State final, the world could stop spinning, at least my world. That would be one gigantic basketball game. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll give you one crazy one. The bracket with the 3 teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm least confident they'll get a Big Ten team out of that bracket.
Yeah,
Because that's how much I love Houston.
Yeah, Houston's. It's Houston with an H. But
That's
Houston,
not that crazy. That's a dumb statement.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the 2 seed. They're the highest seed left.
You're like, oh, that's the least confident? You mean, what's the most confident? Let me guess. Michigan? The number 1 seed?
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's just you said, I'm going to say something crazy. The team with the most Big Ten teams is not the one I think is going to get the team to the Final Four.
I shouldn't have said crazy, but in terms of the bracket, that bracket has the best
And you've
chance
already
of a Big
said,
Ten team getting there.
You've already
and I
said
they
you
won't.
think Michigan State's coming out.
Stay with
you
me.
think Michigan's coming out.
I didn't say Michigan's coming out. They got a hell of a game on Friday.
Oh, here we go.
I did not say Michigan's
Hell
coming
of a
out.
game on Friday.
You think Michigan's coming out.
Go ahead.
Want to bet that money line?
In terms of what? Your unit's a lot bigger than mine.
I'll bet anything you want, money line.
We do need some stakes.
Hold on, Connor.
We need some
What are we
stakes.
going
for
to
this
do
game.
here?
I don't know. I obviously believe in Alabama. When the shots are dropping, the shots are
All right,
dropping.
well, I'll throw
But
something out. I'll throw something. You have till, I'll give you 48 hours to come up with what I get. But if Bama beats Michigan, instant double your salary, 10-year deal.
Hold on a second. You mean if Alabama beats Michigan?
Alabama beats Michigan, money line, 10-year deal, double your salary, instant. But you have to figure out what I get.
Okay, sure. Well, it was your birthday. Do you have any hints? Like when we do Kris Kringle, I know, Hanukkah's different, but we make a little list. 3 ideas what people want when you get somebody in the family.
You got to come up with something that would mean, obviously,
All right.
it's not going to be monetarily. There's nothing.
Yeah, I know. It's maybe an experience or collectibles or something. I got
don't
somebody
know.
in your circle. I'll probably reach out
no,
and
Rico.
see what I can do.
Think about this. Let's think about this. What he just offered you is incredible.
Yes.
But he needs something in return that's also incredible. You realize
Correct.
it's going to be like a podcast with no dude. It's
See,
going to.
why-
No, think about this. Think about what he's going to.
Now we're cooking.
Right.
Now we're cooking.
Think about what because he's got 48 hours too, and he's going to be thinking about this. So you got to realize every enemy you got, everything that could go wrong, but double your salary for a 10-year contract?
It's big.
I got to figure out what he wants. I'm going to call some people in his
Oh,
circle.
I think I hadn't
inside
thought
man.
of it, but I think I know what I want.
See, he's already tinting the fingers.
Because you put it in the universe.
It was going to be there anyway.
He already said it's early. He's
It
not
was
on his
gonna be there
fastball.
anyway.
He might have
You think
forgot.
he wasn't going to think of that?
He might have
Of
forgot.
honor.
One episode?
Oh, no.
There's no. I mean, that's just fisticuffs. It cannot be more than one episode.
It's double
That's a one episode.
It's
thing.
double your salary for 10 years.
But that one episode will send me into 10 years of therapy. So that's fair as well.
We could do it via Zoom. It does not have to be in person. Dave, I don't want to speak for you or anything, but I mean, would it be a Zoom
Yeah, no,
podcast?
it doesn't have to be in person.
Okay.
10-year contract. Shohei Ohtani's on that. Like,
Yeah. Not many people get that.
Double your
yeah.
salary, you're into 6 figures then.
One episode could be considered. That could be considered.
One episode.
That could be considered.
Also, Rico, we got our stats guys on it. They're in my ear. Technically, there is a 75% chance of a Big Ten team coming out of that part of the bracket. So
I don't think that's right.
That's
3 out of 4.
No,
are Big Ten
no,
teams.
but there's not.
Just
That's
like
assuming they all have the,
probability, straight math. But I
that's
see what he's
assuming they
saying.
all have the same strength of team, and they don't.
75% probability.
But there is
Nerd, tell him, nerd.
it doesn't make
this
sense.
Michigan Bama game is in
Chicago.
Yes, it's here.
Yeah, this is the second year in a row. They were in Newark last year. Didn't go to that game. Was obviously in the city, and now I'll be here in Chicago.
Hold
And
on. Do you see those wheels are turning over there?
yeah, I see the wheels are
turning.
turning. I see the wheels.
Well, you're going to stay focused here, okay?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be. Maybe we think of something better than the Men of Honor podcast. You got other enemies. You got a lot of enemies.
No, I'm
Bosco, where were we last time you lost? Was it UConn, Bama?
Yeah, Arizona, Phoenix with.
Yeah, when I had the future
Yeah.
on UConn.
Yeah. So that's the thing. People are always like, "Oh, you got a million guys." Like I got the guy though at the top, and I'll always root for that guy.
Okay.
Houston is plus 130 and make the Final Four as of the second.
Yeah, they're the heavy favorite. But numbers-wise, 3 out of 14.
Guys,
75%.
y'all want to focus on this bet?
I know. Listen, it's a big-time deal. Rico, how are you feeling before we go to break?
Feel great. I mean, when the shots are going, the shots are going. I got to figure out what he wants. I got to call the inside man.
We already said what he wants.
You're talking to the man right now. Why you got to call the inside man?
I mean, Walker brought up a good thing.
I didn't,
If it's one episode, it's considered.
Don't blame that
That could
on
be
the-
considered.
10-year salary against one episode?
That just
Think about what
shows
you're
what an
saying.
absolute lunatic you are. Like that you think that is like, I'll consider doing a 45-minute podcast for 10 years, double my salary.
So how long
There's
you want it to
nobody
go?
like you, Bosco. There's nobody like you.
I think it's a year.
Yeah.
That's
A
easy.
year?
A year podcast.
We'll iron out the details over the break. But after the break, we do have Darrell Doucette, Hoosh, joining us, the star quarterback from Team USA Flag Football. So stick around. We'll be chatting up with him after the break. Rico, we got to get it.
Years.
We got
10-year
it.
contract. Double your salary.
All right, folks, it's Wake Up Barstool on FS1. We might have to get Rico back into the segment. His mind's running crazy right now about what Dave could possibly want. But we do have a great guest joining us. It is Darrell Hoosh Doucette from Team USA Flag Football, joining us via Zoom after the massive day on Saturday, winning the championship and everything. And I could call you Hoosh, right? We can.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure.
We went over it during the break.
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure that we were clear on that. But Hoosh, what message, I'm just going to get right into it. What message do you think that you guys sent on Saturday to the football world at large, especially with the Olympics coming up in 2 years, about USA Flag Football and the type of skill that you guys have?
I think the confusion is everybody wants it to be NFL style football, and we want to show that it's different. It's our own lane, it's our own sport. And I think that's just the major confusion in it because we say football. I had an amazing time. This probably was one of the best weeks of my life because those guys accepted us as peers of theirs. And I thought I was going to have all these different things to say leading up to winning that championship game. And I have nothing but the utmost respect and positivity coming from this past week with being around those guys.
So let me ask you this, Hoosh. And when you broke onto the scene, there was some comparison when they said it was going to be the Olympics, and we were talking Mahomes, and I was on your side. I actually said, listen, these guys, what you said, it's a different sport, and the NFL guys don't play that sport. Do we know how they are picking the Olympic team at this point?
So what I've known for the past, I guess, year or two since it's been announced is that we're going to go through the same process that we currently go through. So we do a trial of 48 guys, and they take 12 of those guys, and the next team trials, they compete against the 12 that was originally on the team. So let's say my 12 that we have now, and then they take 12 that's at the trials. We're going to go to another trial and compete to make the new 12. So no one is actually on the Olympic team right now. It's going to be a year-to-year basis, and you have to come out and keep competing and keep making a roster until 2028.
So under that scenario, should we not expect NFL guys? Because I don't see them coming out and doing this level of competing to win a roster spot.
I mean, I can't say yes or no to that. All I can do is control self and go out there and compete and, still be able to play at a high level. But for those guys, I can't say if they're going to come out, if they're going to try out, if they're going to take the time in their off season to come and give it a shot. And it's also like, it's not just one tryout. We go through different phases. And I don't know if those guys are truly want to take time away. And you have to be dedicated to USA football because it is about USA. It's not about self, and that's the major difference.
So let me ask you a different question. You phrase it differently, I guess. You obviously are the top of the food chain in USA Flag Football. You get to see the NFL guys, a lot of them, the top, the Saquons of the world. How long do you think it would take these guys, who are supreme athletes, to become supreme flag football players?
You never really be able to say the adjustment period because we are all different. And I can't say, I don't know how long it would take those guys, honestly, but we all seen that it was different. We saw that a lot of those guys were much bigger than us, much stronger than us, of course. And some of the coaches are like, wait, most of your team is under 6 foot. I'm 5'7", 140. And when Joe Burrow and Jay Daniels and them heard me say my weight, they was like, wait, I haven't been 140 since I was a freshman in high school. So we are completely different body types. And, those guys will really have to be dedicated to really go out and compete and want to do it. And I think that's the major difference upon just saying, oh, I'm going to go out here for a game and play versus actually being dedicated to it because it is a skill set that is required to play.
So if you're looking to draft a guy, sorry to cut you off, Walker. It's like the Kyler Murray, is that using, if you were the coach and you're looking at the NFL, who would you be like, all right, that's somebody who I would want on my team? Is it the smaller, scrambly guys?
I think that is a part of it, but I won't just say Kyler. I think Kyler does have a skill set that does translate over. Just like we say Lamar has a skill set that translate over, even the receivers, right? But it's just understanding the game and taking the time out to actually come to that field and learn the depths of the field, because this is much smaller. And a lot of the guys, they say, like, after they went out in practice, they was like, we was running our dig routes all the way across field, but we was going out of bounds because we're expecting so much more field to continue my route. And it's like, nah, by the time they kind of get in the full stride, they're almost going out of bounds. So we know that was part of our advantages upon them not knowing how much depth and when they really going to be able to get into the timing of their routes.
So I imagine early in this process, when people just assumed NFL players would be the best fit for this, people just thought, okay, well, they're the best athletes in the world, they should do it. I imagine you guys felt a lot of disrespect. But now, after this weekend, where do you think the respect level is for you guys as flag football players?
I would say I never felt like the NFL guys disrespected us. It was never them. It was always the outsiders, the media, the fans. And it's still, to this day, I've seen certain things on social media that, oh man, they didn't get the best guys, or they didn't have this. They try to throw it on Speed Bud and Logan Paul. And it's like, man, those guys gave us our respect on the field. They seen the difference. You know, Coach Payton, Coach Shanahan, before the games even happened, before they even practiced together as a unit, they said, you know what, this is different. We actually need to take time out to understand and learn this game. 5 versus 5 is a smaller field, and it's not what they're accustomed to playing on. So it was always the outsiders. Those guys treated us awesome, man. I have nothing negative to say about them. And I'm talking about the players, the coaches, OBB, fanatics, the staff, and everyone treated us as professionals. And we went out there and earned their respect as well. And man, I had the greatest time of my life over the past week.
Well, I got one last one for you.
Go ahead.
Who is our rival? Who's going for the gold in the Olympics versus USA?
I would say I think Mexico is definitely a top tier team. Canada is a top team. Panama is a top team. Germany. It's so many great teams that it's always a Cinderella story. I would say Austria. Austria was the silver medalist in the World Championships when we were in Finland. And actually Switzerland won bronze, and they came out of nowhere and actually beat Mexico. So you never know who's going to come out and strike whenever that time is, right? But you can't underestimate anybody, and we're going to always treat everybody as great competitors and go out there and give it our all, and our goal is gold, and that's what we're going to go for.
Love it. Well, Hooshwe, we can't wait to see it. Congrats again on Saturday. It was an awesome event. You guys dominated, and best of luck with the journey ahead leading up to the Olympics in 2028. Appreciate you joining us, pal.
I appreciate y'all. Let's let flag football be flag football, NFL football be NFL football.
That's what I say.
Perfectly said. All right, we appreciate it. That's Hoosh Doucette. What an appearance. Flag football, we will be keeping tabs on it for the next 2 years, but we have stock up, stock down coming up on the other side of the break. Very excited. Maybe some Savannah Bananas talk. We'll see. But until then, keep it rocking. Keep it rocking on FS1. Wake Up Barstool up next.
Keep it rocking?
Yeah, keep it rocking. Why not? All right, everybody, we do it every Monday, although I've never done it before, so I'm very excited. It's Stock Up, Stock Down with Davey Day Trader Global. What we're buying, what we're selling going into the week. Dave, starting off with you. What's your stock up right now?
Rick Pitino. It's got to be Pitino. Make it to the Sweet 16. And really, I don't know how old is Pitino?
73.
Becoming the darling of the tournament, the press conference, again, we've talked about a few times at the hotel, just regaling. Is that when you tell a story? The final moments, the St. John's fans, the stockbrokers, the people on Wall Street, or as Rico calls them, the coke heads. eating it up, and they move on. So huge turnaround at St. John's for Rick Pitino, as if we didn't know it, cementing himself as one of the great college coaches of all time. Stock up Rick Pitino.
Brandon, yours.
All right, my stock up is Rico Bosco. Imagine the skill it takes. Imagine how much you got to love ball to Sweet 16. We got 16 teams left, and 7 of them have Rico Bosco guys. 7, almost half of the Sweet 16. Now, of course, he did have 34 of the 68. He had exactly half of the field, so a little bit less now. But, man, guys, I look at this. Dusty May, huge Rico Bosco guy. Alabama. Calipari, longtime Rico Bosco guy. Stock up on Rico Bosco.
Okay, going from Rico Bosco to Rico Bosco. Rico,
yeah,
what do you got for yours?
I'm going to go social-wise. If you saw Florida play, they're now out of the tournament. But the cutaways to the absolutely jacked fan in the jersey is why you watch these games and what makes the internet unbelievable. It's immediately like, that guy is just hilarious.
Well, I'm confused. What, the stock up's the internet?
The stock up is the guy. I mean, this is a hilarious guy. Like, to wear the jersey like that.
That guy's stock up even though he got bounced?
Brings up a good point.
You can buy it low, Dave. It's a penny stock. It's a penny stock. Go ahead.
Penny stocks.
First choice was a penny stock?
Understand the nature of this game, what we do here?
Well, Dave,
I thought that guy was hilarious.
I'll go next.
You're not going nuts?
They say come to me.
Oh, okay.
But we can. Do you have one?
No, you go, Connor.
All right, okay. Tyler Kolek is mine next. He dropped 53 points combined yesterday. He was in the G League in the early afternoon, had 42. Then he comes down and he plays for the Knicks in the NBA the same night, and he had 11 in the final fourth quarter. Perfect shooting. Tyler Kolek on
We're
the
in the middle of the NCAA tournament. He does Jack Guy. You do an NBA G League player?
Listen, we got to show some love to the association.
And let's just remind you, Bosco picked a fan of a team that was the number 1 seed and got bounced.
Connor, why does nobody care about Max Shulga, who did the same exact thing in the Celtics organization yesterday?
Don't steal a second stock up.
This is a question for Connor, who only called out one of the guys.
Tyler Kolek. Who do we got at the desk over there for your stock?
I was going to take Kolek, but I'll go with Brian Hodgson, who got he got the Province job. I actually found out he actually told the USF team on Friday, informed them personally that he was leaving to take another job. He didn't find out on a live stream to telling someone else. So that was a pretty classy move.
Yeah, I think the first person he went to was probably the AD. You go to the AD, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Liam, what do you got?
The St. Joseph's Perfect Season banner has really risen to the top of the food charts, and this is a banner that Big Cat will be trying to get for our office. We're trying to track it down. This is one of Rico's great grudges that has come to fruition. He was never wrong about this one, the St. Joe's Perfect Season banner.
Okay, I love it. Back to you, Dave, for your second stock up.
Oh, we're doing 2 stock ups. I'm going to go with the tough one.
Or we can do it down if you want to.
No, I'm going to go Michigan. I'm going to do Michigan. And it's not just the basketball program, it's hockey. And we talked about a little, the number 1 seed in hockey. They're the number 1 seed in basketball. It's the 2 sports that I'm not saying people don't care about other sports. Wrestling's popular. Women's college hoops is popular. But for most men in this country, you care about hoops 1 and hockey 2. And we got the number 1 seed in both. So, it's proud to be a Michigan Wolverine.
Okay. Brandon, back to you.
Yeah, my second stock up is, of course, Luke Combs. Luke Combs, a country music star, dropped an album and started a tour the other day. The album is called The Way I Am. 22 bangers. He's the best we got in the game right now. I spent all weekend listening to the album, cleaning out my garage, and I'm going to go see him April 18th in South Bend. So Luke Combs, incredible album.
Okay, that's great. Rico.
Yeah, we've touched on it a couple of times here. I think it's pretty obvious. Darius Acuff has just been unbelievable this tournament.
Socializing.
That was the last one. Darius Acuff's the best player in the tournament, or most polarizing. Super fun to watch. Darius Acuff through the roof.
How's he polarizing?
I shouldn't have said polarizing. I spoke too quick. Popular, fun to watch.
Okay.
Exactly.
That works.
Wrong adjective.
All right. Well, going back to me, Dave touched on hockey. I'd be remiss if I didn't, or not hockey. Wrestling is what I wanted to talk about. That was a bad segue right there. But Penn State wrestling is my next stock up. 13th national championship in 15 years. They are an absolute juggernaut. It is one of the best dynasties in all of sports. Have to show some love to Penn State wrestling. Stock up.
It's amazing how these Big Ten schools do this little dance every March, whether it's women's hockey in Wisconsin and Ohio State or wrestling in Penn State. But I find that the schools who don't compete for national titles in basketball somehow find these alternate down the list sports.
Worst team in the Big Ten, yeah.
It's quite the trick. It's quite the magic trick.
Don't let him bully you like that.
I won't. Meek, what do you got?
You did.
It's true.
Baseball, opening night on Wednesday, Yankees and Giants. Baseball is already back, which is crazy to think about.
Okay. Liam, anything to follow
Why is
up on
that?
It comes back this time every year.
Listen, stock is up. No, it's
literally
true.
back this
Right.
time.
I'm just saying, like,
It's the Sweet 16 into baseball.
early March, well, not early March, late March, I think it's a little too early.
Did this surprise you?
No. I think it comes up on you quick.
Stock is up. Baseball's back. Liam.
Malik Renault of the Miami Hurricanes got eliminated from the NCAA tournament. And what did he do? Went straight up to the concourse, got in line to buy some chicken tenders.
Love that. Love some chicken tendies. And now we will go to everybody just gets one stock down, then we got to go to break. So, Dave, your biggest stock down for the week. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go Kentucky Hoops. Absolutely getting run out of the gym. They had a terrible season. The Blue Blood. This is the program, right, in college basketball. And they get rid of Coach Cal, or they part ways, however you want to say. But he's now in the Sweet 16 making a run, and they're at home, and they have problems with the coach, I think, and they lost by 40. They care about two things in Kentucky: horse racing and basketball. Basketball's down. Shout out Lovely Gray. I was actually in Kentucky. That's my horse, maybe in the Kentucky Oaks.
Okay. Brandon, you got a stock down?
Yeah, mine might be a little old man yells at clouds, but it just is what it is. I have to speak from experience. The NCAA tournament scheduling. There's just no reason on a Sunday night, Alabama and who did Alabama play? Real quick, off top. Texas Tech, thank you very much. Alabama and Texas Tech locally starting at, 10:05 or something on the East Coast?
East Coast, yeah.
And they played in Tampa, did they not?
Yes.
So, like, I have no idea. You've got Sunday. It starts at 11 a.m., then you got a standalone game at 1. Front load these games a little bit more. Just squeeze them more into Sunday. We shouldn't be dragging all the way out till midnight Sunday night for a game on the East Coast. It's crazy.
You're right.
Saturday was the same thing. Saturday's a little bit better.
Saturday, I have no
Saturday.
problem. Saturday, no problem.
It's still, I feel like early. I know they like 2 standalone games. I think 1 standalone game and then double up from there.
They went to
Because it is, we're all old, but Saturday, if you're still of the age where you go out, it's kind of fun to have some tournament games on the bar, TVs. Like, I don't mind Saturday. Sunday's ridiculous.
Sunday's ridiculous.
They went too extreme because you used to see none of them early with TV, and now that you see all of them, but they're way too late. There's got to be a mix.
There was so much action at like 9 o'clock last night,
that's
10
the
o'clock.
problem.
Have that at like 5
3,
o'clock
4,
on
5
Sunday.
o'clock on a Sunday. Absolutely.
Rico, what's your last
My
one?
stock down is John Fanta. Came on here. He's gator chomping. He's disrespecting Blutman. His national champion is out in the first weekend. If that was me, I'd be, crucified. What was the other thing he did too? Oh, his buddy Kevin Willard. He's got plenty of time for spring weddings as well because he didn't win a game. The next John wouldn't. So again, if you want to crucify me, you gotta hold your feet to the fire as well. Stock down, John Fanta.
That's a call out.
Feels like you doubled up on that one.
Yeah, a little bit. But that's okay. My stock down, it's the ABS system in MLB. They are measuring all these MLB players to get the perfect digital strike zone set up and everything. And you're seeing some guys who went from 6'1" last year to being marked as 5'10" this year. It's a really, really rough break. The Short Kings are down bad. Meek Phil, what do you got for your stock down?
Gonzaga, another second-round exit for them. I heard from a lot of people that they could have went a deep run in the tournament, that they could have went undefeated this year back in November. Gonzaga, just always going to be stocked down.
Okay.
Yeah, the asterisk there is they lost one of their starting 5, but that.
Well, but you didn't. You did not acknowledge it. From what the record shows, when you were giving that pick out, you didn't acknowledge anyone got hurt. And one of my friends, which cost me money because he has no money, Mr. Rice has bet all his money on Gonzaga on your tip, and then I have to front load him when we go to the horse racing. So stock down Bosco.
Okay. Blutman, to close us out, what do you got?
So we only get one?
Yeah, one stock down.
Okay, so I won't say overinflated basketballs. I won't say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar maybe being the most overrated player of the social media era. I will go with drug dealers. It is not good to be a drug dealer.
Agreed.
Because you get put in jail, you're in handcuffs. you're having such a miserable time and you have to fight and claw your way back up to a normal standard life. But not just that. You miss out on good times with your friends, good core memories that you could have that you could look back on in 30, 40 years and think, wow, wasn't making the Sweet 16 such a great time with all my buddies down in Tuscaloosa? No, you don't even get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Well said.
Call me old-fashioned. I didn't know we still had like weed drug dealers in today's day and age when it's legal so many places. But at that program, that Alabama, they
do you know how hard you got to try to get arrested in Tuscaloosa, Alabama?
Listen, say no to drugs, kids. We'll leave it at that. But that's stock up, stock down. I think we're going to be talking about baseball next, which is very much up, according to me,
Wait,
Phil.
baseball's back?
Baseball is back, so stick around.
Baseball's back?
Stay tuned. We got baseball
Where'd
right
that
around the
come
corner,
from, Brandon?
right here on FS1. It's Wake Up Barstool. Well, folks, baseball is almost back. Opening day Wednesday, we get the one game. Yankees-Giants in San Francisco, kind of a weird opening game. But then we get the full opening day slate on Thursday.
It's one of the great rivalries in the history of baseball.
It is one of the greatest rivalries in baseball. But obviously going into the season, Dodgers World Series favorites, as you see on the screen right there. Yankees following them. The Mariners, really, really sexy pick. And then the Mets also in their Meek Phil squad. How are we feeling as a whole about this MLB season? What are you most excited for coming up?
Should ask the Red Sox fan there.
Potentially.
I am excited about the Red Sox. I think they're going to be pretty good. I was just scrolling down. We got a lot of guys injured. I bet while I was in Chicago, I said before, I think Roman Anthony is going to be the American League MVP. I think the Red Sox are a playoff team, which isn't shocking. I think they're minus 170 to make the playoffs. There they are, 16-1. I've turned more into, I've gone through stages where every night, just kind of watch the Red Sox type of guy. I love watching baseball. I'm not like studying it crazy, but I watch a lot of baseball now.
I think that might be, because I do it too, I think that might be the sign that we're getting old.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah, but because it's very comforting on a summer night just to sit there and watch baseball and just get lost in it and just let it be. Background noise and foreground noise too. Brewers, by the way, 3,500. They knocked the Cubs out of the playoffs last year. Brewers are a better team than the Cubs and shouldn't be at 30 at whatever that is. They should be at plus 3,500. Padres are also good. It's going to be an exciting year. I think the Dodgers. Everybody thinks the Dodgers have ruined baseball. They've won 2 in a row, right? Well, they almost didn't. The Blue Jays had them dead to rights multiple times. A year before that, the Padres had them dead to rights. So they've been this close to being knocked out twice. And they've won. And that's great. It's fantastic. But the Yankees can beat them. The Mariners can beat them. The Blue Jays can beat them. Like, all these teams have a chance this year.
Phil, how are we feeling about the Mets? They're high up there.
I really like the new roster because the Mets were such an unenjoyable experience from June to the end of the season. And they just completely reshifted the roster. Bo Bichette's at third base. Jorge Polanco's at first base. Luis Robert. What, Brandon? What are you raising your hands for?
Were the Mets an unenjoyable experience, or are you fans just going to say they're unenjoyable no matter
Brandon,
what?
they were the 4th worst team in baseball from June 19th to the end of the season.
No matter how good that team is, you're always going to find a way not to enjoy it.
I enjoy it. I'm not
You guys
Frank
are
the
miserable.
Tank. I'm not Frank the Tank. I enjoy watching the Mets when they're good. I enjoyed 100 wins.
You just called them unenjoyable.
They were unenjoyable because
They were
sucked.
last year.
Really bad down the stretch.
They do it every year, though,
The
Dave.
year before, they were all singing Kumbaya.
Yeah, the 2024 Mets were one of the most fun.
You guys say it every year. Usually I say it every year that nobody has it worse than you and you're miserable. And this is going to be a good team.
Yeah, this is going to be a good team.
Even though Pete Alonso's in Baltimore now.
I'm glad they didn't pay him. I'd rather have Bo Bichette, 300 hitter.
You'd rather have Bo Bichette.
Yes, I'd rather have Bo Bichette.
You're lying.
I'd rather have Bo Bichette in my lineup or Pete Alonso. I'd rather have Bo Bichette.
But that stinks. That Meek Phil, that stinks. Like you don't end up rooting for like Pete Alonso seems like a great guy.
Great guy.
Lifetime Met. And you'd rather have a new guy and not, by the way, keep talking. I'm going to show you what I got for my birthday.
That team was so unenjoyable. I wanted as much of that team gone as possible. And for the most part, they did. It's a brand new roster.
What a life.
Yeah.
Well, and that could be you if you win this bet. That could be you right there.
Yeah.
Living in Florida.
Barefoot's unbelievable. I'll ask a quick filler while he's getting the gift or whatever. Is Thursday of Sweet 16, should that just be opening day? Isn't that the perfect day?
It's a good day. But
baseball all day
what about
leads
the
into
teams
that.
that play at night, though?
Then if you're a baseball guy, that's what you're watching, or you just go. We all
It's
know
a
how
good.
it works.
It's a
You go
good.
multiple.
Listen, we're on the precipice of the best sports time of the year with the Sweet 16, baseball, the Masters coming. Like, who's got it better than us?
Yeah. Really nobody. But I think we're going to get to Dave after the break. We do have to go
You got
to
a cell
another
phone
one.
for his birthday?
I think so.
Oh, no, I couldn't find. I'll show it after the break.
All right, yeah, we'll show it after the break. We're going to wrap it up on Wake Up Barstool after this. So stay locked, as Dave is going to go get it right now. Wrapping up with our final segment after the commercial break. It is Wake Up
He
Barstool.
just
Keep it tuned.
refuses to put that manatee on the wall.
It is interesting. It's just on the
That manatee has
ground.
been there the whole time.
Yeah.
I like it there.
We'll keep
Nobody
it there.
likes it there.
We gotta see it though.
Let's Wake Up Barstool. The field for the college basketball crown is set. 8 teams are headed to Vegas to play for their share of a $500,000 NIL payday. To get your tickets, visit collegebasketballcrown.com. All right, boys, we are here for one final segment. I think, Dave, do you have the birthday gift? Is this a
I'm
little
wearing
piece?
it.
Nice.
I'm wearing it. So you guys are guests. First of all, does this look like a current day shirt? It's way nicer. Like it's not the Fanatics kind. No offense, Fanatics, but here we go.
Looks like a real jersey. Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Perfect. Love it. Okay.
You don't think this is a good gift, Walker?
It's solid. It would be a great.
Authentic old Nomar gift.
It'd be a great gift for somebody like me. You're like rich. I mean, you could buy 25 of those in the next 10 minutes.
Well, let me tell you something about being rich.
Yeah.
It makes it way harder for those giving gifts to the rich to give gifts because I can buy anything I want, anytime, any place, anywhere. So you got to find something that would speak to my heart, like an authentic retro Nomar, and I believe this is the majestic kind, the heavy, the stitch. These are when jerseys with jerseys.
Good looking jersey. Damn good looking jersey.
What about a Caitlin Clark High School jersey? Is that a good gift?
Well, you gave me a fake one.
I gave you a custom one.
No,
You had
it
it
was
made.
fake. It was fake, and I actually asked her if she ever even wore that number in high school, which she did not.
Oh boy.
There's pictures online of her wearing the in
Practice.
games.
Practice.
He asked Caitlin Clark. You're going to dispute Caitlin Clark?
There is a chance I'm getting confused with the one Gruden gave me.
That's the one, Gruden, because that's why I got it.
Yeah,
See how they
that's
misremember and
right.
drag you through the mud?
Yours was just crap quality.
Yours was just cheap. The right number, wrong material.
It was custom.
Well, you had like a guy down the road like make it like he makes his like CYO jerseys.
No. It's the sublimation. It was.
Yeah.
It was not a nice jersey. I haven't been able to wear it.
What he's wearing is a nice
stalk
jersey.
down Jeff DeLoe for absolutely ruining Mutt, who still owes me a jumpsuit. For those who don't know, this is like code. But we had a guy show up at the stream, supposed to be a big surprise. Jeff DeLoe, who's the office gossip queen and who just has to insert himself in everything, sends a picture to Austin of Mutt at the office before I saw him stalk down. He ruined it.
Now, in fairness, he did pay for it, right? It was his gag to ruin.
According to Jeff DeLoe, who tweeted out that he paid for it, made Mutt look like a broke boy. Yes, he did pay for it.
Well, not only did he have his flight paid for, he was also wearing the clothes that you gave him. So I think he was putting that message across himself.
Yeah, and he trashed. You know what? I may go to the Kentucky Oaks. No joke. Kentucky Oaks, lovely gray. There's a 20% chance it happens. Mutt would have been with me in the box at the Kentucky Oaks. Instead, I'll be home. That's on Mutt.
Stock down.
Okay.
Hubert Davis on fire too today.
Maybe. We'll just have to wait and see.
Wes
But
Miller, Charlotte.
we thank you guys. Hey,
Good
what's up?
job hosting, Colin.
Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow, I think. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. For Brandon, Rico, Dave, Leah, Meek. That's Wake Up Barstool and the Nomar. Catch you tomorrow. See ya.